I already have an outro in mind, but I can't really do it because I'm not going to edit this video. Anyhow, how are you doing? I'm Sean. And you've read the title right. I had a medical emergency and the teacher thought that I was autistic. And it was only one teacher, by the way. And I'm sure that a lot of people around me thought I had autism because I was basically suffocating or some sort of asphyxiation. I couldn't breathe more than I usually can, and I was really lacking oxygen at that time. I try my best to breathe as much as I can, because if I go any more than that, it literally hurts my lungs, or like somewhere around my chest. I'm not sure if lungs have sensory neurons or whatever it's called in English. I forgot. Now, let me give you some background. When I was 11, I had pneumonia, and it was because I drank a lot of soft drinks, and I never really drink any water, and so I had continuous fevers for more than a month, and I was absent for school for at least a month when I was 11, and it was so severe to the point that the doctor tried taking blood out of my arm. There wasn't even any blood. The doctor smacked my arm, and the blood just came out a little bit. The doctor had to slap my arm until it became red, and I find it really funny, even though I was seriously having a close, not close, a really severe case of pneumonia. I mean, I'm not sure, because I don't even know what stage of pneumonia I was suffering from. The doctor never told me, I'm sure for obvious reasons. But then again, my parents wouldn't tell me, especially my dad. I doubt my mother would remember it, but my dad, he's the type of person that will not look back at the past because it has already happened, so he would never look back at it. And this is he basically admits to that he's okay with repeating the mistakes that he's done. And I've seen it countless of times. I can actually make another series of me just talking about my father and how much I hate him. But that's for another video. Anyway, I totally digress. What I wanted to say is that my parents smoke, and I'm sure that played a huge role in my pneumonia, which whatever I was doing, wherever I was, when I was eating, when I was doing my homework, they would smoke just right around my area, and I'm sure that was also partly why I got pneumonia in the first place. Because after that happened, my parents just never smoked near me, and I'm sure they have their own reasons. But what I hate about this is that they never told me about it until I discovered it myself by doing some online research, and it pisses me off. And that's how I had my first pneumonia. And no, it's not Wuhan. It's not the corona. Fast forward to when I was man, I can't English. Fast forward at the age of 14. I mean, at the age of 15, when I was Form 2, and yes, I went into remove class. We were having sports day or sports festival, whatever you call it in English. We basically, there are 4 color groups or teams: green, yellow, blue, and red. They're competing each other for to find out who's the most suitable for a particular sports. Like 100-meter dash or the whatever that's called, and the far jump, etc. But while that was happening, we all had to participate in all of the sports unless we have some sort of medical issues, which I had, by the way. It's just that the receipt and the papers and stuff were given to my elementary school and not my high school. And then I asked my parents to get those papers for me because I really don't want to compete in some of the most sports that require a lot of stamina. And they denied me, especially my father, by the way. Just remember, all of this happens because of my father, not my mother, because my father is the one in charge for most decisions my family makes. Anyway, I ran the 2 times 200 meters. We have to run a 200 meter field twice, 2 rounds, and after I finished that, I think I got either 3rd or 4th place, cause I have the speed, I just don't have the stamina. After finishing that, I just sat down on the field, like wherever as away from the sun, and trying to find as much shade as possible. Yeah, I don't think there were any shades, and so I just sat there like this. I couldn't move. I really couldn't move. I tried my best just to maintain my breathing pattern, if that's how I should call it, because I can't breathe more than this capacity for some reason. Maybe it's because I exert too much force or too much pressure onto my lungs. I'm not even sure if lungs have sensory neurons, by the way. I should have done a little bit of research before this video. Basically, I can't breathe more than this, and if I were to breathe any more, it would start, my chest would start hurting, and it would hurt to the point that I really can't do anything. I was spazzing, or like what's it called? Well, I'm just like this, clutching onto my chest and grasping onto my throat, because the entire area of my chest started hurting, and I felt inside that it was burning, some sort of inflammation and stuff. It wasn't pleasant, of course, and the people there mostly thought that I also had autism. But then again, I'm not sure if I actually had a medical emergency in the first place, because I'm not saying that I exaggerated. I was seriously in pain, but I'm not sure if that was severe enough to call it a medical emergency. Yeah, I was grasping for air. I couldn't breathe more than I usually can, or a normal person could. So I just the medics brought me under the tent. I'm not sure what it's called. So I just laid down there and tried my best to breathe. And then a few minutes passed. I wanted to vomit, and I asked for a plastic bag. At that time, I finally was able to move. I couldn't, my legs weren't the problem here. It's just that I was so tired, and the pain, both of those sensations just made me completely weak. Excuse me. And so the teacher a teacher came by and asked me, do you want me to call the ambulance? And I said no, because I really didn't need a medical attention, because before that even happened, I had that issue for a lot of time. Like, it happens at least twice a month back then after having my eunomia, starting at the age of yeah, it happened late 2000. Hang on a sec. It happened at late 2013. Yeah, it happened at late 2013. And when I was 12, I also had the issues. It's just as it's not as severe as I thought. It would get until I hit the age of 13, where I just basically have these episodes of seizures, well, not seizures, episodes of just constant pain throughout through my entire chest and difficulty breathing for at least twice a month. So I was used to it, but then again, I ran not a marathon. I ran 400 meters, so at full speed. So it would be more than I could usually take in, but even so, I was able to handle it all by myself. But the teacher just called the ambulance anyway, and when I arrived at the hospital, the first thing that, I don't know what they're called, the medics or the EMPs, I forgot what it's called. And I'm not going to edit this video, by the way, I want to apologize. The nurse or whatever they called, they started to do some basic checkups. They just check my pulses, check my bodies, my limbs. They check for my heartbeat, and everything was fine because I was able to calm down. When I calmed down, I was able to regain my stamina. And the worst thing out of it, the most embarrassing thing out of this was that when my parents arrived, because the teacher called my parents, when my parents arrived, the teacher spoke to my father in English and asked him if I had autism, which my father couldn't understand the word autism because my father's English is not as good as the average Joe, I guess. He didn't know the word, so I explained to him in Chinese, and I told him, 可以讲我有冇 no, in Chinese. Sorry, I just spoke Cantonese. 他讲我有自闭症. Yeah, I mean, I think my father couldn't even understand Chinese because my father never spoke Chinese until I was born. And the problem with this is that my father just completely ignored me, even after I explained it to him when I got into the car and went back home. He still reprimanded me for causing drama, I guess. Yeah, I'm being reprimanded for having a medical issue. The thing is, I've told my parents before that I have difficulty breathing when it happens irregularly. It happens occasionally. Well, not occasionally. It happens frequently. But my parents just couldn't give a fuck. I told them, why don't we just go to the government hospital and do a proper checkup? Because in Malaysia probably has one of the best, well, not one of the best, but one of the most economically friendly hospitals. Because I think like Malaysia is the only country where government funded hospitals only need you to pay 1 ringgit just for to seek medical aid, and 1 ringgit is equivalent to 25 cents in USD currency, which is really fucking selfish of my father, because I'm sure that he doesn't want to go through the trouble of getting me to the hospital and going through all the process and top it off, he wasn't even working that time. He just sat in the house, like any Kyle would do. The husband of Karen, and Kyle would do, just sit there in the couch watching television and doing their own stuff. It pissed me off, alright? And you might be wondering, isn't this a violation to my human rights? And yeah, rightfully so. Though I was under 18, and I think my human rights weren't actually violated because I was under my parents. My parents care for me, parental care, parental supervision. But the thing is, I've heard of cases where parents are able to deny their children medical aid, which is really inhumane to me. Have I filed a complaint? Well, I've complained it to my counseling. I've consult with my counseling at school, and they can't do much with my problem. Well, it's been 60 minutes. Oh, I've seek help from my friends. I've seek help from teachers. I haven't seek help from authorities just yet. Not just yet. I haven't seek help from the authorities because I know it's gonna end up with my parents being arrested for sure, and I don't want that to happen for obvious reasons. Now that I'm 18, can I just go and see the doctor myself? Well, legally I can, but my parents wouldn't accept that. It's pretty stupid. And yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and comment. It really helps me with the YouTube's algorithm. Subscribe for more of my content if you're interested. To stay tuned for more of my videos, and I'll see you next time. Take care.